stage if Makin can come up with the win here. So important race.
And I see that they were restarted. So that first chest, it's that 10 arrows.
Not going to be good for too much, unless they find that early bow. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, definitely a nice item to have. I see that Makin has taken that sign to do some damage. And he gets more 10 arrows.
It's maybe overkill at this point. 300 rupees, lovely to find. This early on, don't need to worry about bottle vendor or having money for bombs.
Yep, it's a good thing. Definitely a good sign. Gives them also part of the way to Zora if needed.
That's right. Normally you're kind of looking for about that 150 mark for the bottle vendor and bombs, but getting an early 300 puts you way over that, and already you start to think about maybe routing in an early Zora check.
Oh, that was a single rupee in the same chest there, so...
One more, one closer to 500.
They give you the big money and then they give you the little money. I see how it's going now.
Both players taking the same route. We'll see if we see more money from perhaps the little hoarder crab thing.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is.
It's a blue rupee.
Mac is going to opt to pick some of them up. Prier opted not to.
Oh, we see also a red rupee in Lumberjack Cave. So, yeah, the seed's all about money so far, it looks like.
I'm starting to think the game has actually replaced every item with money in a weird, unprecedented bug.
Pryor's opting not to even bother with the hoarder crab at this moment because he knows it was just money.
More big 20 in the mushroom spot.
Yeah, we're definitely finding... Oh, okay. We
That's
did find
not
something
money.
different.
Those are flippers. So
yes.
Money and flippers. Someone who is who tends to read where the seed is trying to guide them might say that it's calling them over to King Zora.
Well, at least they didn't have to pay $500 for those flippers.
That's right. They might end up paying $500 for something much more worthless.
Alright, we are on our way, and it looks like Prior's opting to go probably check this one chest here in the tavern, and then maybe buy bombs if he doesn't get it here.
Makin heading straight to the bottle vendor. Just slight variations in Kakariko routing, all because they don't have any bombs. Quick shout out to Cook Train for the Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the race. Haven't seen any of the juicy areas in Kakariko yet.
Alright. We first use to the bomb is to the chicken house, and we get, of course, a heart. Still got lots to do, though. I mean, we have Blind's house here, we still got the well, so hopefully they'll find something good. Oh yes, indeed. This is a Thanksgiving race.
Both players expressing respect for the chickens today. I mean, they're not turkeys. They're close, though. As close as it gets in Zelda. More and more money and a mirror. Okay, there we go.
Finally, we got something different other than money and hearts.
So flippers and mirror, not too useful just yet. But mirror especially will become a nice find once they get into that dark world. That's going to improve their dark world routing.
And Mirror is extremely useful, helps a bit with the save and quit situations, and oh wow, we did find the Fisher Price shield and some more money, and of course everyone's favorite item, the single arrow.
Absolutely. I'm thankful for the single arrow today. Every day, but especially today. 644 rupees after the visit to Kakariko. These guys are rich.
Yeah, the seats definitely give him all the money. I mean, flippers, money. That's the sign sometimes means Zora.
Yeah, the logic won't actually route in the 500 rupees for Zora, but it certainly does feel like it. Once it gives you those rupees and those flippers, you just can't help but feel like that's the way to go.
Man.
There was a mushroom there up on the library. That is, you don't like to see that. With those locations that you can see but can't get, you always want to know exactly what it is. But with a mushroom, you have no idea.
I think we got a pendant in Eastern Palace, and the other two are crystals, but they weren't the combination crystals, so. Yeah.
All right, 2 Dark World pendants out there for our players.
It looks like Prier is doing the hobo check probably, because this is the right way to go that way.
Just more money on Lake Hylia. I was a little anxious seeing that projectile about to hit Prier, but of course with those early flippers, no danger of the instant death, because these guys are not fake flippering.
Yeah, we won't be seeing that technique today. Let's see what the hobo gets. Oh, he gives a heart. Well, in the early stages, this is fine.
Makin's gone straight to the dam, just rupees to show for it so far. What do you think about starting with hobo and then? Well, I don't know where he's gonna. Is he gonna go to like Ice Rod Cave next and then loop around the other way?
Well, let's see if he continues to swim to the right or he turns left. If he turns left, then that means, of course, Zora. But if he turns right, you're correct that he's gonna do Ice Rock Cave.
I think I like this route. It's definitely creative. You don't get the chance to do this route very often because you very rarely find those flippers this early.
Alright, let's see if Ice Rod Cave pays off.
Nothing there. Mini Moldarm's got the Moon Pearl, though. And that was a save and quit. I thought Prier was going to loop around, but I guess that's probably slower than the old save and quit, so I'm liking this route more and more, actually.
Looks like he's going...
Oh, but he's not going to... Where's he going? Crazy man.
Hot maybe? Yeah.
Skipping Mini Moldorm.
Well, we know he definitely can't do that today.
That's right. Moon Pearl, thankfully, isn't one of those things that will speed up your travel around the map, where, you know, every second you don't find the flute or the boots, for example, you're losing time. But in this case, the Moon Pearl only really helps once you've got away into the Dark World, so as long as Prier gets there, you know, relatively soon, it's not going to be any time lost, really.
And looks like we find a bunch of hearts in Sahasrah's hut. So this seat's quite healthy, besides rich.
Yeah, this is a pretty cold open here for these players.
And basically, at the moment, you either have Agenus Cave or Eastern Palace to dip to, based on what we have. Or they're gonna go here, where Makinx is going. He's gonna check the Zora domain, which is good.
This is a good play. Prier better not... Prier's hoping that Eastern Palace doesn't have the progression, because he's already been all the way over to Sahasrah, then save and quit. There's the gloves in the Waterfall Cave.
Alright, that's part of the equation. We just need to find that hammer now for Dark World access or mitts.
I guess you can go from Mini Moldorm over to Zora, but now why Sahasrahla then? I don't know. What would you have found in Sahasrahla to speed up this that Prier's doing right now? I think I like Makin's route better.
Oh man, he ran out of bombs.
1 bomb and 2 Moldorms. No 7-10 split to pick up there. No way. I mean, I think it's...
there it is. The
The Power Glove has become the Titan's Mitts in maybe record time.
My goodness, that is crazy Dark World access in just seconds. And I think Makin's still probably thinking, okay, I want to check the rest of Eastern Palace here real quick. Or no, this might be... Let's see what he does.
Well, no hammer. Can't go through this portal.
Yeah, he probably didn't realize it.
Whoops. All right. No, I didn't. I was meant to do this. I was just going to death. No. Okay. Walking back. Eastern it is.
I think he quickly rerouted there. He's like, whoops. Now I'm going to go into the hobo check because he hasn't done it, I don't think.
Prior stuck buying more bombs. Actually, maybe that was what Prior was routing around. The lack of bombs. I don't know. Whiffed a couple on the Mini Moldorm, though.
Yeah, that was the rough part right there. Yeah, those Mini Moldorms really, they really know how to zip sometimes. I mean, yesterday we had a match where someone was trying to death warp on one of those guys, and he had a hard time chasing it.
Yep.
Death Mountain is available, but that's a sequence break without the lamp, so we'll see how they want to do that or not.
Yep, but it's not too bad a play, because with the mirror they can get up past Spectacle Rock and take a look at Tower of Hera.
Also, they have a safe way to get to the back of Escape now with the gloves.
That will probably be a priority for both players. Prior's got the Moon Pearl, but needs to head up to Zora's Domain to get both lift upgrades.
And the weird part so far of this seed is they don't have any weapon besides bombs right now.
That's right. Bombs, like, they found the money early on. We were like, oh, they can buy bombs. Now they don't have to worry about bombs. But when you only have bombs, you can run out of them pretty quick. Both players down to 4 now.
Yeah, that's probably what they're thinking. They're probably thinking, wow, okay, I have no way to defend myself here, but I do have access to things.
So Prior is indeed heading up to Zora's Domain. Makin, without a weapon, thought better of heading to Eastern Palace, especially with this Dark World access. Here's the back of Escape, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it's 3 chests, and maybe you'll find a weapon now.
Or maybe you'll spend one of your precious bombs and get nothing, we'll see.
Let's take a look at what happens here.
At least they're likely to go to Kakariko. Yeah,
oh
wow.
My god, this is... wow.
Money and hearts. So likely to go into the Dark World through Kakariko, and that means Makin is going to be rather near a bottle or a bomb vendor, so can opt to get a refill. I think they've probably found a capacity upgrade or 2. Not that I actually remember seeing one. It's been always money and hearts.
Prior's opting to do the same situation here. Let's check the back of Escape. 3.
I think the routes have finally synced up, so we can see that Makin is ahead here by about 45 seconds.
Yeah. We might get a quick map check now that he is in Dark World.
It'd be pretty scary to head into Thieves Town without a weapon, but that's there. Skull Woods as well, but far more likely these players are going to be checking these overworld locations in Village of Outcasts.
So far it's just a lot of hearts, though, besides just the Dark World access here. Oh, here's the map check.
5 and 6 up in the top left and top right corner in Skull Woods and Turtle Rock.
Looks like Green Pendant is Pod and Ice Palace is the Blue Pendant.
That's a shame because they're pretty close to having Ice Palace access, but you don't want to go into Pendant Ice Palace if you don't have to.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy. They still got any kind of weapon here, which is this also Dark World, so it's kind of dangerous, especially Green Mail, but they do have a whole lot of heart.
They have 11 hearts for Makin just 15 minutes in. 3 bombs, actually not the worst thing to find in this situation. Makin only had 2 at that point. And knows to check the 50-50 bush for another.
Yeah, this is quite wild. I mean, they could do a couple of things here, and of course check Hype Cave, but whoa, what was that first?
I totally missed it.
That was a key, it looks like. Yeah. Tolwith had a key. Another key. Alright. Let's see if there's any kind of weapon here. Oh! We find a bug net, but that doesn't really do anything except for Aghanim for as a weapon.
You could catch a bee and then use that to fight. No bottle though, so it is not a weapon.
This is rough. no weapons still.
Makin is going up to pick up the frog. Couldn't get this on the way down because of the digging game, and I thought was going to jump down and go to Stump and then Hype Cave, but has the mirror, so I was going to quick turn in the frog now.
Alright, that's a smart move. I mean, turn the frog, execute that with that mirror quickly, and we'll see what he gets. Oh, bumper cave check, real quick. Looks like red rupee.
I think so. It was a red something. My commentator viewer smeared a little bit at just the wrong time.
Yeah, red rupee. And we do find our first one.
Vanilla swordsmiths. Thank goodness. So now does Makin turn around and head into Thieves Town? Well, has purple chest now.
Yeah, probably gonna skip that. You can't really take a follower with you in there, so... Ooh, Prier going for the graveyard ledge here. I mean, yeah, you can route up here. You have to just walk around those bushes.
I like this. If this has a key item like the hammer, this is a place that Makin is not too likely to check all that soon.
Oh, wow.
Bombos on the graveyard ledge.
Makin's not picking up hearts anymore. He feels like 11 is quite enough.
Yeah. Maybe just sick of them, you know? Like, even if you love pizza, if you eat pizza every day, sometimes you just want something else.
Well, this is where you did bring up Ice Palace. Bombos does allow you to enter Ice Palace now.
Yeah, that is, well, currently no sword for Prier, so
yep.
Probably won't go without that, but... I mean, can't really go without that. You do need the sword to use the medallion.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
But Prier is in Village of Outcasts. Fully expect this to finish with a trip to the Breadsmiths, who I guess are proper swordsmiths now. And we got ourselves a Hype Cave check.
Alright, Hype Cave. Oh, Hype Cave has just became pretty hype with that first item.
Yep. Even if it's only the bow is hype enough for Hype Cave to have earned its name. And looks like it is going to be just the bow. The bow does some decent damage as a ranged weapon. Opens up Eastern. I guess Eastern and Pod are both pendants, so it's not the greatest thing to find the bow early, but it's still quite good.
Yep. The bow does make Vitreous a little bit more easier, though, in terms of that big eye in the end, or the early eyeballs if you end up having a low sword upgrade when you're fighting it. And we do see Prier going to Thieves Town with no weapon.
This is a shame. Those Dwarven swordsmiths were pretty close. But Prier has opted to be rather bold here. Heading into Thieves Town weaponless, also hammerless. So not able to check the big chest if something is in there.
Seeing where Makin's trying to go here, I mean, he has mirror, he has glove. He's going this way. I'm wondering if how's he routing this? He's gonna check. He has no way up there though, so he's gonna go down here for a second. Let's see what he does. Is he gonna think of the ice palace there? No way.
There's nothing to do there.
Yeah.
Not without Bombos.
Oh, he's going this side to swim around. Interesting.
Nice heads-up routing. You don't see this very often, but having knowledge that this is here and being able to do it on the fly, it's the kind of thing you can expect from players that have made it this far in the tournament.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting to get around the hammer peg, so now he can check the pyramid and catfish on this side.
So Prier is out of Thieves Town, just wanted to check those first 4 chests, and is now doing Digging Game, and we'll see if Prier continues on to Hype Cave or does the same as Makin and hooks back around to do Swordsmiths.
Yeah, if he goes north, then yeah, there's Swordsmiths. Oh, we did get something interesting on the pyramid.
Yeah, the Magic Cape. We know it's not going to lead to anything on the bumper ledge, but who knows, maybe Spy Cave has something. And of course, it's just a very nice safety item to have.
Well, Cape does definitely give you Aghanim access. Yes, but you still would want to have a lamp to go through it, which is interesting as well.
Yeah, at the very least, a fire rod to shoot at the torches. Otherwise, it is a nightmare.
And I'm pretty sure Prier finally feels a little bit happy about that. An actual weapon for him.
Yep, and now can enter Ice Palace, which is... It's weird, you know? He doesn't have the bow, so can't finish Eastern, can't get into Desert. Could sequence break into Hera. No hammer for Swamp, like, you know, has already been to Skullwoods.
Oh, wow. Our catfish gave something interesting as well.
The magic powder. There's not too many locations available. I wonder if it's a priority to make another trip over to Kakariko just to check in on the powder. Could also check in with Thieves Town, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's where Makin's off to.
Yeah, although Eastern Palace and Pod was available to Makin, it's the fact that they're both pendants, so it kind of makes it a little bit an early rush to go to a pendant dungeon at the moment, but let's see if you made the right choice.
Yeah, Tower of Hair is a sequence break without the lamp, because they cannot get up Death Mountain through that dark room and do not have the flute to get around it.
Yeah, at this moment they could go up there, but yeah, no lamp makes things kind of interesting. And plus they have, I don't know, would they want to do that though? With no fire source? That's another thing I'm thinking of if Hera's fire source locked.
Yeah, they have to make do with what little the seed has given them, basically.
Yeah, I think he's going for the magic bat here with that powder he just got for the fetch quest here.
We'll see if this is the thing. Not too many things left to check between the two players. So there's actually, I think, a fair chance Magic Bat's holding something, which is pretty rare. Today it is...
Okay, +5.
Just a bomb capacity upgrade.
Yeah, now I'm starting to wonder if they need to have to dip into these places. But I know we haven't seen Agenus Cave at all either, when that was definitely a place they can go. And they have the back of the front end of Escape actually. With the sword, they don't have to fear of doing that either.
So a lot of options. None of them are super appealing, but a lot of them are not too bad either. So we'll see where the players decide to go. Makin taking another look at the map, perhaps confirming that Eastern Palace is a pendant. Not sure.
Yeah. Well, Makin's probably doing the Skullwoods value play because he's thinking, okay, I've seen it so many times, I'm just going to check it, but we know Prier already did that for us.
So Prier, rather than sticking in the moat, is going to get off on land a little bit early and is maybe thinking about pod here.
Alright. This is an interesting play. I mean, we know they didn't check anything of Eastern Palace just yet, so...
Yeah, it's a little weird to be going without the hammer or the lamp, but there's just so many locations to be checked, all rather close to each other with pod and Eastern, that I think this is a fair play.
Yeah. They pretty much could full clear pod other than get to the boss without the hammer, though, which is kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, I guess the hammer's not too big a deal. With a pendant, you don't want to finish the boss likely. Anyway, it's possible Helmasaur's holding something.
This is definitely going to be interesting to see what happens here. If pod has something of value and then Eastern, we know one thing, it wasn't bow locked because we got a key in that side already.
Yep, as a tournament organizer, I'm a little nervous every time a race starts up. Ever since we actually encountered that incredibly rare key lock that's possible in pod, but both players have the bow, so it's not possible, and I can breathe a little sigh of relief.
Here we go. We see he's going to come across two more chests very soon after this mimic room. But if it's not a hammer, obviously he's going to have to mirror back to the front to proceed.
Makin is walking
going to do the north route, though, you know?
Yeah, I think so, too. It's going to find that Bombos.
Yeah, that's going to put him in the same situation as Prier with that, though.
Both players not feeling too good about heading all the way over to desert just to check Agnes Cave. Both players not feeling too good about sequence breaking Death Mountain without access to the east side. So they did it in slightly different orders, but they seem to be heading to many of the same places here.
Yeah, as soon as he gets Bombos, yeah, he has the same options too. He could do a Bombos Ice Palace, but I think the reason why most players don't like to do that is having a hammerless Ice Palace is not really the most fun thing to do.
Blue mail. The last thing you need when you've got 13 hearts and barely any items lit up on your tracker is a safety item like the blue mail.
Yeah, blue mail, wow. They were definitely not short of hearts and safety.
So Macket's got Bombos. Where are they off to? No save and quit.
I think if he heads towards the left of Village of Outcasts, he might be thinking of now doing Thieves Town.
Yeah, for a moment there, even Mackin wasn't sure where Mackin was going. Took a look at the items and decided to keep heading over to what we're pretty sure is going to be a Thieves Town check.
Yeah, it's starting to look more like it.
Heading straight in there. Prier has yet to find much good here in Palace of Darkness. Still Eastern left to check as well. Now, Prier left after getting the first 4 items, because at the time, Prier did not have a sword, didn't feel good about venturing deeper into the dungeon, also didn't have a hammer, so if Big Chest was a factor, I missed it.
Very valuable right there. Our first fire source in Prier's side was the fire rod.
All right. That's going to help with some of these dark rooms. Even if you can do them in the dark, you're not going to be doing them as fast as you could in the light, so having a fire rod to light a torch helps a lot in some of these rooms.
And this is the funny part. So, in a sense, the logic wanted you to find the lamp before we found that fire rod.
So that lamp is probably going to pop up real soon.
Yep. But now, since he has a fire rod, he can also finish a few places. He can definitely go and do Skull Woods to finish that, because we do need the rod for that. And, of course, he has a few other options. If he decides to sequence break up the Hera, he can definitely finish it having a fire source for sure.
Down to 1 heart. I think... Oh, I thought he found a rupee in a chest, and then the rupee just stayed there for some reason, but it was a drop from an enemy. Man, dodging the fire in the dark with 1 heart left. Would really like to open that wall and see the big chest before a death here. If a death at all. But probably a death.
He's trying to gauge where he is so he can get to that wall.
This is really scary because you never know when a Dodongo is just going to start breathing fire from above all of a sudden.
Okay, let's see how he does this. Okay, there you go. He made it.
Phew. Prier sees the light and it's just a compass.
So we're done with Pod, man. He's done pretty much a full clear.
Yeah, I didn't see if Prier found the map, so I don't know if Helmasaur is holding out on us.
My guess is I think it's a dungeon item that's left. I saw a quick menu by him and I saw an empty slot. But it was really valuable because we definitely had to have that fire rod.
Absolutely. And perhaps more value yet to be found in Eastern Palace. Also note that Prier mirrored out rather than the Death Warp, so it's now down to 1 heart here in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how well he does here. But he does have a few places he can pick up hearts in Eastern Palace if he's worried about it. Right there's one.
What I also should have been doing is paying closer attention to the dungeon items Makin has found in Thieves Town. Because whether or not the big chest has something is important.
And I know that Prier also picked up something else valuable in Pod. Because if he swung his sword, did you take a look at what kind of sword he had there?
Oh, did he find a sword upgrade in there?
He did find a sword upgrade. That sounded like a master sword to me. It sure looks like one.
No access to sword beams yet at such low health. Oh, that's not the way you want to execute on the Stalfos room, but manages to despawn 1 on the left side there. Meanwhile, Makin is into this blind fight. He's doing a pretty good job of dodging since it's kind of got off script there in the last phase, but does manage to track Blind down very nicely. Dungeon item from Blind.
Oh wow, we found another medallion in Eastern Palace though.
Yep.
Quake medallion. Wow.
We have not been able to scout out Mire or Turtle Rock up to this point, but it is definitely nice to have one of those coins in the back pocket.
Now we know one thing for certain now is the lamp wasn't in Eastern Palace either, so we're starting to run out of places for that in terms of Light World side. I'm thinking they could probably do Agenus Cave, where we're thinking no one went there yet.
That or perhaps the parts of Escape that aren't in the dark.
Exactly. I'm starting to wonder, like, where is that lamp?
Yeah, I said it was probably going to pop up real soon, and then the players have proven me wrong. Prior having enough hearts to do the sort of damage boost to get through the anti-fairies and hit the button. But down to 1.5 now.
I'm seeing that Makin's going this route now. I mean, he's probably thinking that combination as well. Alright, that was great use of the fire rod to torch this room so you can see the light.
Yeah, this room is, well, I don't know. It's possible that that room goes almost as fast as it does in the light. And then it's also possible that, you know, you wake up the Igor at the wrong time and then he's somewhere in the dark and you don't know where and things get out of hand really quickly. Not having to worry about it at all, though, with that fire rod. Very handy.
Yeah, and I think Prier's thinking, because he didn't find all the 3 items in Eastern Palace yet, that's why he's doing this right now.
I like how the items they have are suggesting the 3 pendant dungeons.
Yeah, I know.
More than any other dungeon. I guess Skullwoods. Skullwoods is a crystal, and they can finish that now that they have the fire rod. But only after they went into the pendant dungeon.
So Eastern Palace didn't seem like it had much appeal to it. Besides the Quake Medallion, of course. But we don't know if that's required just yet.
Now that Prier is done with both, Makin is just about to start. So the big question is, where does Prier go?
I mean, he does have Murder, like we said, back half of the front half of Escape. And he does have Edge's Cave. He does have a sequence break to Death Mountain, too.
But might be opting for Skullwoods here with that fire rod.
It is logical.
Has the mirror, but no book. I think I want the book to be found in Skullwoods to lead to a pedestal check with a required pedestal.
Well, that would definitely be significant intel for Prior then, and it would make his pendant visit even more valuable because he finished it.
Yeah, a pedestal check can decide a race. But I think in this situation, having both players check it at kind of the same time in the same way means that it's not a race-deciding RNG factor, while also still being the pedestal seed that we know and love.
Alright, Makin's collecting that Quake Medallion.
Prior not quite fast enough to avoid the Gibdo, but gets it off his back.
Alright, here we go. He's gonna check of course, the left side, and if I recall, I really don't think they found anything yet in Skullwoods, because it looks like they had all the dungeon items already.
Makin's out of the dark room in Eastern Palace. That one's really not too bad as far as dark rooms go.
Yeah, here's the thing. We're not going to find the lamp here in Skullwoods either, because that fire rod was in a dark nav room.
Right. Lamp is in one of those other locations we talked about. My bet's on Escape.
Alright.
But there's something appropriate about Agana having a lamp in that dark cave.
Well, we did find something extremely valuable for 2 dungeons that do require it to get to Ganon's Tower. Found that red cane.
Wow. Not gonna open up too much. They definitely wish they had that when they were swordless.
And here's the part where it kind of gets rough, like we were mentioning earlier. If you kind of lose track of where the Igor is, you have to kind of try to reset and try to relocate him. There he is, you found him.
Troublesome encounters for both players. Prior doesn't have a lot of magic to use this fire rod, so it's a Master Sword Mothula fight, but like has so much with the mail and the hearts that they found, was able to just kind of brute force. Does find the book. Oh, wait for it. Oh, am I gonna be the prophesized pedestal bringer today? I'm excited. It's
And
right
it
there, man.
was what you call mythical, the book in hand.
Here we go. There's the mirror. No way is Prier going to pass up this golden opportunity to check the pedestal.
All right, let's see what happens here.
There's still an incredibly slim chance that it's actually something. Yeah, it's just a little piece of love.
It was just love. All right. But that was valuable information for him.
Something to not worry about, especially with the seed demanding they go into these pendant dungeons so early. You really want to know whether or not you're supposed to finish them. So
now let's see if Mackin decides to do the same play in terms of going to Todd. And if he does so, he'll be rewarded with a Master Sword and the Fire Rod as well.
That's right. And definitely is making the play. While Prier is finally says, screw this lamp. I've waited too long for this Death Mountain. I'm going.
Yeah, at this level, they're both executing all these sequence breaks right now.
Makes you wonder how much time they've lost in the dark room, and how much of that time could have been spent checking Escape or Agnes Cave.
At this moment, you can't really say who's particularly in the lead. I mean, Mackin has finished Thieves Town too, and Prier still needs to do that. But Prier has gotten Skull Woods done, and I have a feeling Mackin's probably going to do the same once he gets the Fire Rod over here.
Mackin also has the cape from Pyramid and the powder, which is both are not going to lead to anything in terms of progression, but could speed up certain things depending on how the players execute. Was that red mail there?
I believe so. Looks like a big hunk of mail right there.
Now with 13 hearts, do you go out of your way to upgrade from blue to red? Prier says no.
Yeah, he's refusing, but this is something interesting. He has a book now. He could check Ether Tablet as well.
Yeah, I wonder if that was what swung the, what tipped the scales for Prier to finally make the decision to sequence break up here.
That's a huge possibility that was what he wanted. If he finds
something.
Another red item.
Yeah, another unwanted red item, perhaps.
It was the red meringue. If you fans like that, you should be happy to know that Prier has it.
Happier than Prier is, perhaps, to see it. We got a big key here. Not that it matters too much with that Fire Rod.
Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff still in Light World that they could have done before they step into these Dark Nav rooms. Oh, but look at that!
Wow.
That tells us that Flute.
Flute is now somewhere, right? I was gonna say that lamp was gonna pop up soon. Now I'm gonna say that Flute should pop up soon.
So Flute is hiding, and we absolutely have to find the Flute because of Meyer today.
Right, so if Prier is paying attention, that is incredibly valuable knowledge. It drastically limits the locations that the Flute can be.
Yeah, it's starting to narrow down. If you wanted to go up Death Mountain, they wanted you to have the Flute already.
Hookshot! Could hookshot over to the chest, but no boots to bonk back across, so Prier is going to go upstairs.
Wow, we already found our 2 items then. That's it for Hera.
Yep, and no need to worry about the basement.
He's just collecting the crystal now.
We got a Moldorm fight with a Master Sword, a little easier than Tempered Sword. No hammer though. Still, 3 spins is all it takes.
Yep.
Oh, tipped him with the sword on that second one, which did enrange him, but Prier managed to dodge it and land that last hit. It's gonna get some useless thing, right, that has to be the key.
Yep.
And then a very useful crystal.
But now he has the hookshot, he can check a whole lot of things on the east side of Death Mountain, and then he can also use the Titan's Mint to check the remaining stuff on that side in the Dark World.
Yeah, the fact that Hera had either the hookshot or the hammer was an incredible find for Prier. There's the long jump all the way down. Hookshot's going to get us over to the east side. There's what? With the hookshot, that's 6 plus 7, 13 locations to check, 14 with Spiral Cave.
Oh, yeah. Flute can be in a variety of places. I mean, they did find the mirror, right? And they did have the flippers. You know, it could even be in that first chest in Swamp Palace.
Oh, man. That would be really mean.
It would be, because that means you're locked out. Oh, but we found the other rod.
Yep, Ice Rod is required. Turtle Rock is a crystal. Prier's going to be thankful to tick that off the list. Makin is finally done with Eastern and Pod.
Oh, our first bottle, too.
And our second bottle as well.
Alright. So we found 2 bottles up in Death Mountain.
So we got rods and cane. That's the hammer. If the hammer were to be found here, we could see possibly Turtle Rock.
And Makin's now checking maybe Agenus Cave, because he's probably wondering, where is this lamp for my way up Death Mountain without sequence break?
That's right, Prier opted to come up Death Mountain without that lamp. Makin perhaps looking for it. Not because Makin doesn't know how to get through the dark room or anything. Definitely can. Is just interested in... I'm not sure, actually. I feel like this is a pretty big gamble here that Makin's making.
Alright, it's not what it is.
It's not gonna pay off. Didn't even check Desert Ledge, I think. I think just went straight up there.
Yeah, he did not take care of it. We found half magic.
Alright. Yet another item to add to the safety pile.
And I think Makin might be deciding to go Death Mountain regardless of having a lamp or flute now. It's starting to look that way, but...
It's that or Skullwoods.
Or Skull, yeah.
There it is,
It's
Skullwoods.
Skullwoods. Yeah. He's got to start getting crystals as well.
So advantage Prier. Prier's already got the big key from Thieves Town, so it's not too much time to get back on track in Thieves Town. That's kind of the big thing Makin has done that Prier hasn't. Makin has also done Catfish and Pyramid. And I think that kind of might be it.
Yeah. You can also have the dreaded Ice Palace visit, even though it's pendant.
The players will likely put that off for as long as possible. We're going to get the Turtle Rock check. It's Ether, so even if we had that hammer, Turtle Rock's still locked out. We're going to need that third medallion. Watch Hookshot Cave have both it and the hammer.
Yeah, we would definitely have the hammer to get to the portal, and then of course we're gonna have the medallion to open it. So let's see what we get here. Alright, we're gonna have another visit up Death Mountain.
Yep, that is confirmed. Prier's save and quitting out. Where to take this bounty of items that Prier has found? Swamp Palace, perhaps, with that hookshot?
Well, it's... we know Swamp Palace is not going to be a very likely place they would like to go if they think that first chest is a hammer, though. That's the only thing that...
yes.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if someone does that gamble.
I don't commentate too many races. Or haven't lately, anyway. But the last one I commentated had that hammer in that one chest it can be in.
Oh my goodness.
keep forgetting they don't have the hammer.
Yeah, hammer is a very, very nice item to have, especially giving you access to other Dark World portals. And without it, they have to keep utilizing this particular portal right now if they don't do Aghanim.
So Prier is heading into Thieves' Town. When Prier is done here, they'll be pretty much caught up in terms of things that Makin has done progression-wise. And then we'll see. I'm pretty sure Prier has the lead. It's just a matter of how much. And it's also a question of, does Prier ever go check Pyramid and Catfish? Because if Prier does, then Makin is going to catch up just a little bit more.
You know, the funny thing is we know that in some sense Aghanim is already dead because Hammer can't possibly be in the pyramid. So, because you need Hammer to do T-Rock, and T-Rock is for the double-chested fairy.
There's that pedestal check for Makin. And now, does Makin go up Death Mountain or check, say, Escape?
Well,
we're starting at Link's house.
In Link's house, though, I'm kind of wondering what he wants to do.
I think Makin's wondering what he wants to do.
I think he realized that he doesn't have the hammer, he can't utilize that portal way there, so...
It's definitely tripped him up once before.
It has, so...
So I think we're gonna see an Ice Palace play from Makin.
Wow, the pendant dive! We've already seen all 3 pendant dungeons there.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised to see this from Makin, given they were willing to go all the way over to Agha's cave. Makin's clearly feeling like they're behind or needs to take risks against Prier.
Yeah, there's still that front half of Escape, and there's still this, obviously. I'm starting to think he's either trying to figure out where the lamp is, or his way up Death Mountain without sequence breaking. Alright.
I was hoping Makin would go up Death Mountain, because then we could get a clearer sense of who's in the lead and by how much, but with this Ice Palace play, their diverging routes are not going to meet up very soon.
Nope. Yeah, this is an interesting play indeed. I mean, Ice Palace, wow.
So what do we find in here that changes the game? I guess Hammer, right?
It has to be Hammer at this moment because we know where the other things are. Hammer or Flute?
Yep.
Because Flute is still definitely needed in this seed no matter what. They can't get to Meyer without the Flute.
Maybe even the boots will end up being required. Desert Palace is a crystal, and there's always that 1 in 22, the torch in Ganon's Tower has that big key.
Yep.
So that was a solid blind fight from Prier, who is now finished. Thieves' Town is now a full crystal ahead of Makin. Looking pretty good on the tracker as well. Makin trying to get this bomb jump. Down to 4 hearts now. I think has that red potion. No, that was on Death Mountain. There we go.
Well, he has powder, so that should help him if he wants to get some hearts from the anti-fairies.
Managed to walk just past that heart there on the ground.
I'm curious to see what Prier does now. I mean, he's going this way. Is this a Bombos tablet check, maybe?
And Agana? Yeah, could be.
Starting to look like it.
Couldn't be anything else at this point. Makin with no boots is trying to get into that staircase in that ice section. It's pretty tricky, but managed it very well. What do we got? Just a heart.
Oh, Makinx just saying peace out. That's it. I don't got the hammer and stuff, so.
Yeah, also doesn't have the hook shot,
Yeah.
which can be trouble in Ice Palace.
Or here's the play that I thought they would have done when they had an unlimited weapon was go to the front half of escape.
This has been here for 55 minutes unchecked by both players. And now finally one of them is going to go check it out. I thought the lamp was in here, but then that turned out to be in Hera, which then just made me switch mentally the lamp with the flute. I'm pretty sure the flute is in here.
Alright. And Prier's probably thinking, I'm going to do desert, see if I need boots or not. If not, I'll finish it, of course.
Yep, it could have been a thing to leave desert and kind of do it with Meyer at the same time, but with so few locations checked, or left to check rather, checking locations while also taking a crystal off the list is pretty appealing.
And he's immediately checking if his boot's locked.
This is a pretty good play. Oh, small key, not going to be able... Well, yes, not going to be able to finish. I guess you could maybe steal a key and get the crystal, but then you wouldn't be able to check all the items.
Oh, that's it. So we do need to get boots in order to beat Desert Palace.
So Prier, the trip to desert ended pretty quick there. Is Prier heading to ice?
It's starting to look like it.
This is good news for Makin. Makin was falling pretty far behind and then made a gamble on ice that didn't work out.
So front half of escape didn't have it either, so...
What's even left?
Where is this thing?
Where's the flute?
Remember, we did mention that first part of Swamp Palace still has something.
Right. I honestly can't think of a place other than that.
That is just gonna trip everybody. They're gonna be like, no one's gonna go check that one spot for one item.
Technically, I think Makin is... If Makin was about to check that right now, it would be going to this portal.
Yeah, we're really starting to run out of places because amongst the two runners, they kind of check just about everything they can check.
Chad also pointing out that there's a mushroom in the library, so boots could lead to mushroom, could lead to something.
Yeah, we don't have the boots yet either. That's definitely a thing. And I think he's Mackin. I don't think he delivered the purple chest yet. I don't think, or he did. No, I don't know what he's going to do. He has to go this way.
It's a long walk to check one location in a dungeon.
I think he might be doing it though.
Here's the thing: even if Mackin finds the hammer, it does not have the hook shot, so it's not going to be able to keep going.
No, it's not. It has to be. It's going to be a double dip.
Yeah, I mean, still very, very good to have that hammer. The hammer will lead Mackin up to Death Mountain, I'm sure, where Mackin will find the hook shot and Keynote. No, not hook shot.
Oh, he's doing Bombo's talent check because he hasn't done it yet.
Okay, so that's something. Now, does Mackin, after having come all this way, dip into Swamp to check that one location?
He might be doing the same thing as what Prier did in terms of Desert Palace.
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see what he does after, because he's pretty much not sequence breaking out Death Mountain. He's making this an interesting decision. Oh, no, he is doing it! He's doing Swamp!
Nice.
There's no way he would go this way unless he's thinking of Swamp.
Yep, absolutely. Has already been to Ice and Pod. Nothing else is even remotely close. Mackin is indeed heading to Swamp without the hammer. Only
my goodness,
one location can be checked in this dungeon. And now by process of elimination, Us commentators are fairly sure it has to be something.
Yeah, I'm starting to think this has to be progression because the sequence breaking is definitely going out of whack here until we find one of these items that's supposed to get you up Death Mountain properly.
So I think Flute is probably the better find here, because if Makin gets hammered, they're going to keep going through Swamp and not find the hookshot. But if they get the Flute, they're out. They're going to go up Death Mountain. They're going to get the hookshot and then come back later.
Well,
so this first one's a key. It's always a key to get through this door.
And this is the place we didn't get to see. Okay, so it was a compass, so it's fine.
Bomb thrown the wrong direction. That was Makin's second to last bomb. Could you imagine?
Oh my god.
If he only had one and threw it the wrong way? Alright, here it is. Chest open. It's the flute! Yes! We were right.
I had a feeling it was going to be that flute.
So the flute has been found. Makin's going to set the bird free. Very, very likely head up Death Mountain. Could go to Mire. But I'm predicting Death... Well, I don't know.
I'm thinking Death Mountain is the strong play now for him because he knows that he can definitely get up there now without sequence breaking. And he has the tools to finish Hera, so it makes sense for him to go up there. And let's see if Prier's thinking about that same play too. Or no, he's doing the front half of Escape now. Okay.
Prier's got a lot more items, which is some extra options. But without the flute and without Ether, and has already been to Desert. So honestly, I think Prier might have exhausted all the places that are good to check. So I wouldn't be too surprised if Prier, doesn't take all that long to get around to checking that really troublesome swamp chest.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he might consider it at this point because he's pretty much done everything else that he can do. But what a scene! Just to get one chest in swamp. Oh my god.
It's kind of funny that
it's a forced double dip swamp no matter what. You have to force double dip because we haven't found the hammer yet. It seems like it's a forced double dip no matter what.
There's nowhere the hammer can be such that the flute does not lead to it.
Yeah, there's some kind of double dip going on. I have a feeling it could be in the Mire area now, since we haven't seen anything over there.
That's right. We don't even know what medallion it requires. We still haven't found Ether. We know it's required for Turtle Rock. But that is another required item still missing. Boots, hammer, and Ether. All still out there.
Yeah, absolutely. When we know we have to find the boots this time because the Desert Palace is based on where that key was, and we didn't find the big key, they have to do that with boots.
So there's still quite a bit of Death Mountain to be done for Makin. Has finally gotten a start on it. And this is Makin's first trip to Death Mountain over an hour into the seed. After a power glove found almost immediately in Zora's domain.
Alright. Prier's checking this one test here, which is just
the key! Oh no! I think Prier could have known that by process of elimination.
In some sense, yeah. He did go in the front and the back. Could have figured it out.
Time lost for Prier.
He's going up here. I'm wondering what he's thinking now.
No hammer, so if this is a trip
did
to
he
that
turn
dark...
Sick Kid yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, this might be Sick Kid then.
Also, I think this portal is the only way Prier's ever going to get over to Swamp. So this is where he wants to be, whether he knows it or not.
Yeah,
What's the kid got?
Yeah, this is the kid here. Let's see. Oh, baby. +5 bombs.
You got really excited about the +5 bomb capacity. I guarantee you're a lot more excited than Prior was to see that.
Absolutely. He's probably thinking, my goodness, I know where this item is probably going to be. My progression is going to be that one chest of Swamp Palace.
It's Into the Dark World portal. Has checked pretty much everything nearby this portal in the Dark World, so this is gonna be a journey over to somewhere else. No boots either, so it's gonna be using this hookshot to get around a little faster.
This is Catfish.
This is a place that Makin checked a while ago, and Prior has not. And we talked about how, Prior looks to be very far ahead, but has this pitfall to walk into here. Like if you're gonna check, your 3 options are Catfish, Pyramid, and the one chest in a swamp that you otherwise can't complete. You're not gonna head to swamp first, right? So this is Prior's gonna check a couple of these locations, and while Prior's doing this, Makin is making up more and more ground. Tower of Hera is now done for Makin. Just a sweep of the east side of Death Mountain is left. And then we've got ourselves a pretty even situation all of a sudden.
I think Makin realized he can't do Spike Cave without hammer, so he's just like, whoops, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, the hammer being so late trips up runners all the time, because you start thinking you could do things, but then you don't have that hammer, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, the hammer just restricts so much that it tends to pop up early on, and then that means you usually have it before other things.
And this powder is gonna make Prior think, oh my god, I have to go all the way back.
That's right. And we know it's not gonna be it's gonna be the art piece or whatever it was.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure he's like, this seed must be the worst thing I've ever played.
I don't know. It's not been a pedestal. Well, that one chest in Swamp is pretty bad. That's pretty high on the list of crappy things to happen to you in a randomizer race.
So I know he's maybe. Oh no, okay. He's not doing it right now. He's what is he gonna think of doing now? Did he check Pyramid before?
No, hasn't checked Pyramid either. Makin chained these two together the same way that Prior is, though in the opposite direction.
Yeah, right now this is a really close race now, because of the fact that Makin got that flute. He's catching up to Prior here.
Thanks so much to Jaxus X for the bits. Prior is going to go and pick up that cape. We haven't seen Spike Cave yet, so it's, who knows.
Spike Cave might even have the boots, maybe, but you're going to have to play hammer first.
There's not too many. I mean, once they get, once this flute, leads to Mire, and then there's something in Mire. I mean, it's got to be the hammer, right? I mean, could be the boots, I guess. I don't know, but something is going to be found soon. And I've already forgotten. I've just been lost in the ugly possibilities of this seed that I've completely forgotten what I was going to say. But
I think our progression is in Mire area now, because yes. I think we covered just about every trace that we possibly can.
Yeah, I think you're right. So here's Prior heading into this portal. Has to do the magic bat this way because they still don't have that hammer.
Yeah.
And all this time, Makin is just clearing out Eastern Death Mountain, already into the Dark World. It's got Hookshot Cave, and then no spike. So after that, Makin's done on Death Mountain, and the players are pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah. It's just one check spot for Prior then, is that Swamp Palace check, which he knows that's pretty much the only thing he would need to do.
Right, if he's paying attention. Now, I fully expect Prior to pick up on this location in Swamp that can be checked, but it's not impossible that Prior doesn't think about it, And even though there's nowhere else to go, you still need to know what the other place is to go anywhere. So it's possible we see Prier just get brick-walled here, but I do think there's a pretty good chance Prier's not going to miss this location and is going to head to Swamp.
Yeah. Unbelievable feed so far for Thanksgiving.
These players they're thankful for their patience and their ability to keep calm through troubling times. But they're not too thankful to me because I'm the one who gave them this seed.
I wonder what Makin's thinking now. I mean...
Yeah, I thought Makin was going to be done on Death Mountain, but always is doing it in a different order.
No, he did do it. He's done everything he possibly can here, so I'm not really sure what he's thinking of. He can't get to Turtle Rock without the hammer. Maybe he's forgetting about that too.
Oh, we've seen Makin forget about this hammer at clearly once, and I think 2 other times also tripped him up.
He can't go this way either, though, because he doesn't have the hammer.
No, this is... Oh, boy, Makin is really getting tripped up by this hammer.
This is why he's... Yeah, see. I think he's going Ether Tablet, but that's why I was pointing why is he going up this way?
No, he's got the boomerang. He's done Ether Tablet.
Yeah, I think...
Where are you going, Makin? You want a flute to 6? It got opened up when you found that flute. There's a shed there, which I know is kind of spooky, but I promise it's got items in there.
You can't do Spike Cave without hammer. You gotta remember that.
6. He's going to 3. Where's he going?
Oh, sick kid.
Okay, this is fine. This is a good play.
Yeah, he's starting to wonder, where's my hammer?
And Prier has decided to head into Swamp.
They're so even right now, though, because they did literally everything the other person has. He just has to go 6. There you go.
All right. So Makin's going to be the first one to hit 6 after all the players have checked all the same. Wait, no, we're not going to even up because Prier has the hook shot, is going to keep going. No, needs a hammer. Never mind.
Nope.
We are going to see these players be pretty much even, and we are going to see that Makin is now in the lead. Not by much, but is in the lead.
He's going straight in. I'm pretty shocked by this because honestly, I wouldn't go straight in because...
What if there's boots in there?
Exactly.
Or silvers.
That I find something nice in the Mire Shed area or the Checkerboard Cave that makes us faster. I wouldn't go in, Jesse.
I think Makin's just a little frazzled.
Oh, man. This is rough. This is really rough.
If Prier checks the shed first, finds something that will speed up Misery Mire, we could see Prier start to make up this gap between the 2 players. Pretty solid Mire 2 there. Oh, I guess that one Popo got away there.
This is a really crazy seed, though, as far as what we've seen.
Yep, I think both players are going to be a little bit on tilt. I'm fairly certain that Makin is on tilt. I don't know. I don't know if it's like rage tilt or if it's like a panic tilt or something. But Makin is clearly not playing up to the level that we're used to seeing. This hammerless seed so far has really caused him some problems.
Yeah, we're still a hammer, ether, and boots away from go mode because we know we need ether for T-Rock. We know we need boots for... Oh my god.
That is not a good thing to see.
No, it's not a good
this sort of fragile mental state that these players are in, to see a fetch quest item as one of the items in Misery Mire. Gotta deal with it. Prier's going to be going into the shed first. I think this is the right play. Is it going to have something that's going to help catch Prier up in Misery Mire? Good bombs and just a heart.
There's a bullet there.
Man. There's checkerboard as well, though.
I know, but let's see if he does it. I think he will.
I think he will, too. I think that's what they should have done.
All right. Advantage Makin right now.
Yep.
For now. Let's see what's in checkerboard.
Makin's far enough ahead that even if this is something like the boots or silvers, which it is.
Oh my god!
This Vitreous fight is going to go better for Prier. Not so much better that, Prier's going to pull into the lead or anything, but this is going to help Prier quite a bit in Misery Mire. He's going to start to catch up a little bit, particularly on this Vitreous fight.
Yeah, the Vidi fight with Silvers is going to go down really easy.
So here's the thing. I fully expect Makin to check the mire to check the shed after they're done with mire. Yeah. But Makin's a little bit right now, so I'm pretty sure Makin will get silvers from Checkerboard Cave, but I think there's a better than normal chance that Makin just totally forgets about Checkerboard Cave and ends up going silverless. So I'm hoping, for their sake and for the sake of a close race, that Makin doesn't. But
he probably will check it after he's out of here, because he pretty much covered every single spot in Nick and Cranny in the sea.
Right. Any other race, I wouldn't have even questioned it. But with some of the misplays Makin has made, makes me a little bit concerned.
Just is going to be here, or Hammer. Something has to come around here somewhere.
Right. Yeah, we're in trouble if it's not. I can't imagine what we might have missed.
It's got to be a progression item of some kind, or Ether to get into T-Rock now.
Or the shovel leads to that progression item.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
One of the two. Something's going to have to lead to something else. I mean, we found the shovel, so that's probably going to lead them to one of the items they need to progress.
I kind of want the shovel to be the thing, because then the only place you go after here is the shovel. And then the shovel's going to open up either Turtle Rock... Wait. The shovel can only lead to one thing, so it can't be the hammer and ether, so it's not going to lead them to Turtle Rock next.
No, it's got to be one of the items that can push them forward.
Yeah, hammer or boots.
Yeah, it's hammer, boots, and ether is going to be in one of the locations that's got locked by one of those items.
Yep. So here's the Vitreous fight. We got the bow, but Makin is going to go with cape. With the Master Sword, this is not super strong. So he's going to be slashing like a madman back and forth with half magic, and the slashes also prolonging that Makin is in no danger here.
No, but as you can see, he's going to have a safe fight. Yeah.
It's not super fast, though. Taking a while to kill these eyeballs. The ones on the edges kind of take a little bit less damage. That one in the middle somehow didn't get hit by anything, apparently.
He could take out his bow. I mean, it's much faster with the bow.
Much faster. The bow does so much more damage than Master Sword. All right, there we go.
All right, there you go.
So there's the Vitreous fight. Gonna go a little faster for Prier once Prier gets there, but still a fair chunk of mire left to check. And we didn't find anything other than the shovel.
Oh, we found the red rupee as well.
Oh, okay.
But that means that shovel's gonna probably be something.
It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah, the bow significantly does more damage to Vidi because it does 16 HP, whereas the Master Sword does 4 with a slash. So it's significantly...
Makin didn't go in the mire shed. He's going straight to desert.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, going back in. Okay. He's making me nervous, man.
He's double checking. He's not really sure what's going on right now. Oh my goodness. Makin's just making us go.
So there's that. Checkerboard's a little out of the way, so I could maybe
he's gonna do it. I mean, he brought out
the
the mirror. He's gonna do it.
Yeah. I was waiting for him to just mirror straight into the back of desert.
No, he brought out that mirror. He's gonna do it. I was like, no way, he's not gonna do it.
I don't know. He's done it so many times. I don't know what he's gonna do. He's crazy. He's not that crazy. There it is, Sylvia. Yep. Nope. Go back, and you're gonna want that one.
Yeah, he's gonna be. There it is. Desert Ruby. So we are pretty even right now in terms of what's gonna happen. They're probably gonna think immediately about that shovel, though. I would hope.
Yep. Oh, Makin has not been inside desert yet.
Yeah, that's true. But he's gonna probably check it.
Yeah, but while he's checking that, Pryor's gonna finish up Meyer.
They're probably gonna leave at the same time when he's done checking because he knows he's gonna be locked after that one chest he opens.
Are we gonna have a simultaneous dig spot?
It's gonna be a very, very close race right now, based on what's happening.
Yeah, Makin's gonna get there first.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Definitely gonna get there first. He's gonna find out he's gonna be locked out of this place right now.
Yeah.
And he's only got one more chest to check, and he's out of here.
So what do you think? Is it hammer or boots?
Oh man, I'm thinking probably hammer.
I think it's boots to mushroom.
Oh my god, boots to mushroom. That's just
to ether, not the hammer. Ether. The hammer's in desert.
Oh my god, he's going back to Ice Palace. Oh my.
What is this? The dig spot. The dig spot.
He's thinking it's in Ice Palace on the places he want. No. Okay. Go. No.
Yeah. This is what I mean. See, Makin is.
He's looting. Oh yeah.
Makin is.
Go back to the house. All right. Good.
Refresh the commentary.
Oh, he's good.
Just a little bit behind. Because Makin is almost there, chopping through the bushes, while Prior is already done. Much easier, vitreous fight with the silver arrows. What's it gonna be? Boots or hammer? Boots or hammer? Boots or hammer? It's the hammer.
Yeah.
Finally, 1 hour, 21 minutes in, the hammer is found. Now, Prior has been playing pretty well. Has been in a weird situation and has been making the right plays under pressure. Makin is eventually getting to the right place, but is hesitating, is losing some time through some hesitations. But honestly, I think those are going to stop now. Now that Makin has the hammer, can finally get back on track mentally, can do all the things that, you know, Makin kind of expects to be able to do in this situation.
Now he's doing swamp. He definitely had to have the hammer do swamp.
So we're looking
He forgot the mirror. He forgot the mirror.
Oh, this is okay. So I take it back. I thought Makin with the hammer would now be like, got it. All right. Thank goodness. You know, focus, buckle down, get back on track, play the game I'm used to playing, and then immediately makes a mistake like that. Makin is just got to be frazzled.
Oh man. Well, to chat. The hammer was in the dig spot, but you had to find the shovel in Meyer.
Yeah, to get there, you had to get the flute from Swamp Palace.
And it was in the first chest in Swamp Palace, the only chest he could possibly have been in.
Right. Because you need the hammer to go any further, and the hammer was in the dig spot, which is the shovel was Meyer, the flute.
Now the question is, where is Boots? And where is Ether? Yeah, because we can't do Turok at all.
We can't do desert without those boots.
Yeah, so this is a crazy seed. I mean, it might be here. It has to be swamp. I mean, I'm starting to think because Prior did all the checking for us in Ice Palace.
You know, the players, remember we figured out Helmasaur was holding a dungeon item? We didn't think about the fact that Helmasaur also has the green pendant.
Oh my goodness.
That is another possibility for where these last few items could be. Now, to be fair, they still have all of Swamp to check now. There's a lot of items in Swamp. 6, I think.
Yeah, 6 items, yeah.
So, you know, it's not like the locations are so slim that there's a good chance it's on that green pendant item. But it is something to think about as we open up more and more locations here in Swamp.
If you get vanilla boots and the mushroom ends up becoming ether, that would be something.
That's right. It would be vanilla boots if you. Wow. Anything's possible, man.
Anything's possible. Yeah, this is... I think that they were dreading coming to this place without boots, because Swamp Palace without boots is significantly slower. Oh he's doing the north check first. Okay.
We'll see if Prier makes the same decision, or if we'll see, you know, maybe the boots are on the west side, and then Prier's north section goes a little faster. Who knows?
All right. We shall see. And I think Prier might go for the same route. I don't know. If he goes up the stairs, yes. The same route.
So I guess at this point they're hoping big key. And they found Brian.
Oh my god. Blue boomeranging Brian. Boomerang fans.
Big key would be nice so they don't have to double back should they find it on the west side later on. Just a map there.
You know, they could still find Ether, but they still be looking for Boots then. And then Boots could still be in Double-Chested Fairy.
Oh yeah, that is really mean. Skullwoods and Turtle Rock are crystals 5 and 6. And you don't need the boots to get crystals 6 or 5 or whatever it is out of Turtle Rock. You just need Ether.
Yep.
So there's potential for some shenanigans still left in this seed. This incredibly late hammer seed with a flute in a hammer-locked flute that leads to the hammer in Swamp Palace. The flute also led to Death Mountain, which led to Hookshot and Kane. No, not Kane. One of the medallions, I think.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's going for the 1 silver arrow strat here. Oh, he's got a nice aim. Takes him down.
Look how close the players are.
Oh my god, Timber!
All right, sword upgrade. Nice to have, not the progression item that these players are maybe a little thirsty for at this point with the way they've got held up on a couple of these items. But Prier has been doing a great job of making up this gap. Makin's been losing some time to some weird hesitations here and there, but Prier has also been executing very solidly. So we're back in. We know something has to be here. Boots or Ether. So Ether leads to Turtle Rock 100%. Boots, however, leads to Desert, probably.
Mm-hmm.
With a slim chance of leading to something like Bonk Rocks, leading to the Mushroom. So things get a little more open-ended with those boots.
Yep, and we did mention some options such as Green Pendant Vanilla Boots with as Sahasrahla.
Right. Well, they've also got this hammer fairly recently as well, so hammer pegs also available.
Yep, Spy Cave is another thing too.
I don't know if they found everything in Ice Palace.
The hammerlock things, but I don't remember if they kept their item track because there's only 3 items in Ice Palace, so.
Yeah, it's possible they found everything. And they've checked pedestals, so you don't need the pendant. Thieves Town, did they get everything, or does the big chest have something?
Ooh. That would be something, definitely.
I will say, in that race I commentated with the hammer in that trolley spot that we saw this time that had a flute, the hammer there was needed for the Thieves Town big chest for an item, so.
Makin's definitely hesitating. I mean, he took a double take there for a second, but we'll see.
Makin is in the lead. Still, not by much.
He didn't hit the switch down, so now he can't get to the other side.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's probably enough to put the lead back in Prier's favor. Unless this is something... Okay, that's going to lead to something. Yep, he's going to see this. Okay. And now we can see just the interdimensional pseudo high five as Makin heads down. Prier pushes through the blocks.
Yeah.
Oh, Makin, my boy, pull yourself together. You're not out of it. As much as I think both players probably feel like they're way behind.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
Makin is going to open the big chest.
Oh, it's a compass!
It's just the compass.
He should know it if he almost
if he's keeping track. Rupee.
He knows it's a compass. He actually takes this continuous.
He's out. Phew.
Dodges a bullet.
Calculated. That's the second time Makin's been... No, Makin got punished a little bit for not checking checkerboard before Meyer, because it sped up that Vitreous fight. But very cleanly dodging that compass
hammer
ball.
pegs. This is smart of him. He remembers that he just got that newly acquired hammer real quickly here.
What else does Hammer and Hammer alone open up? Is it just this?
The Spike Cave too, because
Right.
he has the combination. I think those are the only two overworld spots I can think of that's left.
Where's Prier going? 50-50.
Oh, Ice Palace. The rest of Ice Palace with the hammer.
All right. So I'm guessing Prier's kept track of the items in Ice Palace better than we did and knows there's still more to be found there. So it's not a 50-50. It's a 50-50-50.
This was a crazy scene. I mean, oh my god. And of course, Hammer also unlocks Helmasaur because we can go kill him too.
Yep. And that green pendant, man. So it's a 50-50-50-50.
Yeah. They're not even thinking of T-Rock right now until they see that Ether medallion. So, nope.
Harpies from Makin. I think Makin's made the smarter play of all the options. Very quick to check hammer pegs as opposed to doing, all this Ice Palace.
Is he thinking about it?
He must be. This must be it.
Oh my goodness.
Some pretty solid routing here from Makin as well.
This is definitely the deciding factor where who's going to be a significant lead is who's going to find this Ether.
Oh man.
It's going to be here or is it an Ice Palace?
I can't believe I forgot this as well. So it's a 50-50-50-50-50.
Yeah.
And this is not what you like to see. You don't like to see it all hinging on a decision like this, because it's so close as to which of these locations is the more, profitable, more likely thing to check. So it really is a matter of chance here. Though Makin's decision to do hammer pegs into Thieves Town, those two locations are kind of close together. So maybe there's something to be said for that, but there's a big luck factor here.
Yeah,
But that's totally how odds work. You just 50s, right?
Yeah, this is a tough one. I mean, he's basically checking two chests in Ice Palace, and then this is also pretty much two chest locations in the overworld and one in the dungeon. Can't fault the runners. Here we go. Just gotta check this side.
Hookshot as well is going to help out here in Ice Palace. Here's the big chest from Makin. Heart piece.
Not there. That means it's nice. Maybe. Or Spike Cave.
And does he have a plan in mind and where to go, or is he going to be a little lost here?
Oh, it's just bombs and ice. One more.
He's not out, so still one more item to find here.
Oh, he's doing Spike.
Okay. Big key.
Oh, the big chest. Oh my god, this Ice Palace is suspense. We have to check every single spot.
Except, of course... Well, no, maybe they have to kill Cold Stare for the item.
I know, this is... Oh my god, the tension is definitely building. I mean, I think chat's going nuts. Is it the big chest? Is it Cold Stare? Is it Spike Cave?
Is it Green Pendant?
What is it? Where is our progression in this scene? Where's
I was sure that it was going to be a linear string, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Ganon's Tower, but it's split into like 6 different equal possibilities. How is that possible?
Oh my god. It's there!
Ether!
It's
Okay!
Ether. Oh, it's nice. Oh, my God.
The big play from Prier. Now,
Oh,
what
my
if
God.
Makin finds boots here? It's good, but it's still a problem. Has to go all the way through Ice Palace. It's not.
No, he knows it has to be ice now, without a doubt.
The tension has been released. Ether has been found. Progression has been found. It's in Ice Palace. It's a long dungeon.
Yeah, he
knows.
He knows.
Big
it's
lead.
nice. Yeah.
A big lead for Prier. Now, if Makin was the one with the big lead, Prier, would have an incredibly slim chance, but a little more, I think, than things were reversed. Prier has managed to stay fairly solid through this troublesome seed, but we've seen Makin have a couple slip-ups, so it's just going to make it that much harder to come back from this gap.
Well, based on what we know, I'm thinking Boots is now in T-Rock. Yeah, it has to be now.
Yep.
Or
Green Pendant, the vanilla boots.
Or Green Pendant.
But if Prier's paying attention, okay, Prier could do all those things that Makin did before going to get the Green Pendant. In fact, I think that's very likely is what he would do. So if the boots are there and not in Turtle Rock, then Makin's still got a good chance here.
We'll see if these boots are vanilla.
How many items is Turtle Rock again?
Oh, quite a lot. You have to also include the Mimic Cave items, so we have I think it's 6 or something?
Yeah, I think it's 5 plus the 1.
Yeah.
So it's those 6 locations versus the 1
plus the
in
Mimic
Green
Cave.
Pendant.
Yeah. So I usually like to say 6 locations you can
6,
check.
yeah, it's fair. So 1 in 7 odds that Makin can get bailed out by the Green Pendant being required. Unless Prier heads right over there and doesn't do all those things that Makin just did.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Which I think would be pretty surprising, given how quick it was to check those locations. Prier also has the advantage of going from Turtle Rock to Spike Cave.
Mm-hmm.
That will be a bit of efficiency for him in that situation.
Yeah, he could just pretty much check it right after he's done with this, but we have yet to see what's gonna happen here. Alright, so we are narrowing down our choices now.
Yep. 1 in 6.
They did dive into pod. Both racers did go into pod already.
Yep. Cleared almost all of it out.
Yep.
Without the hammer.
Mm-hmm. This helmet is pretty much what's left in pod.
Now, I think they found all the dungeon items. No. They all but one dungeon item in pod. I think that's what Helmasaur has.
Yep.
Bombs. Again.
Okay.
1 in 5 that the Green Pendant has the vanilla boots.
Well, that means right now, he's gonna definitely check everything, of course. So there's definitely a laser bridge checked in all cases.
Makin's got that big key.
Yeah, we know what that leads to.
Helmasaur does not have an item, but has the Green Pendant.
Yeah, the Green Pendant may lead to boots as what we're thinking at the moment. If it's not in T-Rock.
I mean, if you're a betting man, odds are still 80% right now, as of right now, that the boots are in Turtle Rock.
Oh no, he's doing this way. Makin wasting time here. He's gonna check the T place before he goes back. Oh, I think that's okay. If he did the fireball, he can hook shot over. He's doing a routing more conservatively here.
Ice Palace is it's a tricky place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities.
Doing the go back up the stairs and then hook shot over to the chest and then fall down. It's like, okay, I see what you're doing now. All right, he's gonna do Mimic Cave next, Prier.
Yep, at this point we know the shroom was a complete red herring. Can't lead to anything required because our last required thing is needed to get that shroom in the first place. It's a dried, withered shroom up there on the dusty library, completely forgotten. Here's Mimic Cave.
Oh, he's gonna kill Coldster too? Oh my god. This could be big if this is boots for Coldster. I don't know if he's kept track of his items though.
This could be a really big time loss. Or genius, I don't know.
I mean, if it is here, and he kept track of his items right.
In this situation, just based off of the play...
There it is! Oh!
The boots have been found in Turtle Rock. That's it. Yeah. That's a, more than a half dungeon lead for Prier at this point. It's going to be very, very hard to come back from this situation. Even the worst Ganon Tower Big Key situations you can imagine here, I don't think are going to be enough.
Yeah, I think Mackin didn't keep track of his items at the time because I was thinking he kept track he knew it was a small key. Oh no. Hey, keep in mind they still gotta go back to Desert Palace. It's not a quick straight. I'm already there right now.
I was getting itchy on the Big Key guessing game because I just mentioned it, and then I took a look at the tracker to make sure because I have jumped the gun on that before, and yeah, sure enough, Turtle Rock is not going to be our last dungeon completed today. I like finding the ride shield in the middle of the laser bridge. You can just resume regular walking strats. Prior still checking items, perhaps looking for a sword upgrade. I'm not sure.
Oh, small key. He had to have one.
Oh, he didn't have it yet. Okay.
Yeah. Of course, it had to be in the last chest possible, as usual. Wow, this is crazy. The last possible item you have Como's boots, it was right there. I'm like, oh.
So we got a Trinex fight. We got Tempered. Switching rods before... Oh, and didn't quite get that Ice Rod hit. You want to switch early so that you can be attacking this next head while the other one's exploding, because you're locked out of your menu while something's exploding. So this is an okay Trinex fight from Prier. Last phase looking for 2 hits on the spin. Only got 1 there.
One more?
So I have to track him down a little bit.
Good job.
Yeah.
The boots were in the big chest in T-Rock. Wow, we find our last bottle.
The only things missing from the tracker are the Lonely Mushroom, dried up and forgotten in the library, and I guess Aghanim has a spot on the tracker as well.
Yeah.
We're not...
Yeah, we almost had a full looking tracker. We're also not going to do pod, though. Unfortunately. Red Mail is hiding inside Spectacle Rock.
Yep. Both players saw it, already had like 13 hearts or so, and the blue mail, and said, nah, I'm good.
And these guys started off with no weapon for like a good 20-something minutes.
That's right. They had Bombos, but no sword with which to use it. I can't remember if they found the sword or the bow first. I think it might have been different for the 2 players.
Mackin found the sword first, and I think Prier found the bow first, and then the sword.
Yeah, that sounds right to me. Both kind of around that 20-minute mark.
Yep.
Hammerless until well over an hour. Mackin didn't go to Death Mountain until after an hour into the seed.
worst possible location for Flute was in Swamp Palace, that very first chest, which is a required double dip.
Yeah, it's a horrible location for anything to be, pretty much. Any seed where that hammer is missing.
And going into Mire was the way to get the hammer, because you had to find the shovel. And then the shovel spot had the hammer.
Yeah, that shovel leading to hammer was an extra nice twist.
Yeah, because they're probably... Where else could this be needed?
Thought we'd seen everything. Prior getting dinged by the Beamos there. In Desert Palace, we're pretty close to the land mollas. He's got the fire rod out. Possible to use silver arrows to one-shot them, but it's a little trickier because the arrows kind of take a... Oh, he is going to switch to silvers for this.
Yeah, he's got torch first, and then he's going to use silvers. Nice.
Because you usually have the fire rod out for those torches, some players like to keep it equipped for this land mollas fight. Shoots a little faster, a little less punishing if you miss. But we're going with silvers. 1, 2, 3. Wow, just barely getting those last two, but does get the perfect one cycle.
Definitely a great one cycle there for him. And at this point in time, we do have a little game, right, Mythical?
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, there is a big key to be found in Ganon's Tower. It's required to complete the game, and it can be won in one of 22 locations. So if you are a subscriber or have donated or cheered 250 bits or more, you are invited to play the Big Key guessing game simply by typing a number between 1 and 22. You are entered. Should you win, you will get a shout out from our bot and a spot on the leaderboard as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll stop the guessing once Prior gets up to Ganon Tower. Ganon's Tower, I guess is what people... Is it? Anyway.
It's Ganon's Tower.
Yeah.
Let's call that usually GT, yep.
That's right, it's always GT, so I was like... Maybe it's not an apostrophe S. Maybe it's not like it's his tower. He like named the tower after himself. Like Trump Tower, it's Ganon Tower.
And Mackin finally got the boots now, so he's in go.
That's right. Quite a bit of catch up to go. You might think like, oh, well, you know, Prior's just opening up the thing to go to thing, and Mackin's almost done with Turtle Rock, but Mackin has to leave, go all the way over to Desert Palace and finish that. So this is a really big gap to try to make up.
Oh yeah. It still has another climb up to Death Mountain as well, so... We're gonna see what happens here. We're about to enter Ganon's Tower soon, so I hope you guys made your right choices.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have said it, but I did. Anyway, we will move on to Ganon's Tower. And Big Key could play a role here. It's a really big gap between these two players. But something going on with this Big Key could make up some of that time. Prior going down the right side for now. Compass and Rupee, so no key. Couldn't really go right if you wanted to, unless you wanted to gamble on tile room.
Ooh, tile. Leave that for last.
That would be something. So it's not locations 1, 2, or 3, just rupees and hearts. Or in a compass rather than heart.
We're having some interesting plays here. Now we're gonna see the other ones.
4 is a piece of heart. 5 is a small key. 6 is another small key. And 7 is 10 arrows as Mackin gets into the Trinex fight, waiting until the head is vulnerable. Ice magic out, switch rods. Didn't quite get fast enough to stop that blue head from breathing the ice magic. Ooh, missed that last. Oh, it did get it. Okay. Solid Trinex fight.
And we did find the key so quickly. It was in that firebar room.
So that is 8, right?
Yep, with counting, yep, it'd be 8.
Congratulations to Tech Guru 8, who guessed 8 and won with the number 8. Isn't that great? Prior with the silvers, just going right down there and murdering those mimics. Wow, this is fantastic mimic rooms from Prior. Some players will wait and control the mimics and bait them out. But Prior just said, no, I'm going to go in there and get you.
And Prior's execution is definitely keeping him up here. He's increasing his lead further and further and further.
Prior going with the sort of damage boost strat in the Ganon Ball Z room.
Oh yeah.
And is into the gauntlet.
Yeah, he's making use of the iframes when he falls, so then he can continue to just dash right through him. Alright, Gauntlet, he's doing really pretty well right here. Oh, that one arrow.
Yeah.
The trolley one right there. That's Zazak running up here.
Started off very well in the gauntlet. Mis-executed just a tiny bit in the second room, and the third one really got away from him there. Dashing across. Oh man, playing keep away. Does finally track it down. It's down to 4 hearts. Has like a red potion and things, but we'll see what Prior opts to do about this low health situation. If anything, does decide to switch to this powder.
Alright, that's good for him. Now the pattern of Lamos is you're gonna jump all out and stuff.
Yeah, first and second are coming out very quick, so unable to get the silver arrow strats there. I think maybe Prior like had a chance there, but it would have been really hard. Opted to go with a
fire rod strat might have worked because it's a little bit faster.
Yeah. So a very solid land bonus fight given what Prior had to work with.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Wizrobe 2 makes really good work with that as well.
Took a while to find those boots, but those boots make this room with the bridge so much easier.
By conserving his magic using the map.
Yeah, has half magic, so could have afforded using the fire rod a little more there.
Oh.
Whoops! What happened to that fire rod shot?
He got hit by one of the spark guys.
Oh man, just barely. Then bonus fight for Makin, setting up with the silvers 1, 2, and 3. Just almost, the thing went straight left. Almost got out of the way. Prior filling up on health and magic. He doesn't know he's ahead, but that's the right play in this situation. Dashing through Moldorm with the Tempered Sword. Gonna be good enough to finish him off. Blue Rupee in the final chest. Not gonna be a last-ditch gold sword.
Yeah, I was thinking he's probably looking for butter, maybe to make his chances even faster there. But he's probably able to one-to-one Ganon in the first 2 cycles anyways with Temper.
Pretty nice pattern here for Magnum, except I think they were maybe grouped up a little too much. I don't know if that was 3 or just 2.
Yeah, it looked like 2, but this might be... Oh, okay, that's a 1 for sure. That was the second one.
Man, these other 2 clones are just copycats here. Nice! Getting the double.
Yeah.
1, 2, wow. Great Aghanim 2 there.
Yeah, it looked like a 2-1... 2-1. Or 2-1-2. No, it has to be 6 hits, so you have to have...
Man, the chat is not sure what that Aghanim fight was, but it looked good to me.
I like Ben's choice right there. 3-3-3.
Yeah.
The
overkill. And it got him.
Overkill there, Ben.
It was, that's right, it was a 50-50, 50-50, 50-50 is what it was. Alright, Ganon fight here. Going with spins to deal gold sword damage whenever possible. Ganon is 2 blocks away from the wall, so sword spin's not going to be an option. Has option to do sword spins here. Pulling with that cape.
Oh, that definitely makes it a lot easier. As you can see, he's able to get the 12 hits he needs. Hit his face already. 12 hits or 6 spins or some combination thereof. The spins between the wall are super good because you get 2 hits with the spin. Yeah. It's a double-double. Landing these hits to prevent fire bats from coming out. It's positioned. I think can maybe get a double off that. Not going to try. Going to opt to get prioritize torch glitch. Gets it. Ganon's a little too far. Going to track him down. That's only going to be 1. Where's he going next? I think also only 1 there. Going to need the torch again. Yep. 1 more here, though. This should be it.
This is it. Prior delivering the final hit, skewering the big pig, and winning this incredibly weird and still fairly close in the end seed between Prior and Makin. Final SRL time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 25 seconds. Prior is going to go 3-0 in the group stages.
Yeah, this was one of those crazy seeds. I mean, it was definitely a 50-50 play coming down to checking those overworld spots and going back to Thieves or going to Ice. And yes, get some GGs up for chat. And of course, we always like to say is if you like what you saw from these runners, as you can see, they had a really fun time for us. Make sure you give these guys a follow. They were fantastic runners. They ran a great race for us. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Prior is thankful that this race is over.
Meanwhile, Makin is finishing up Gan's Tower here. This would be pretty nice for him, too. He does have all the weapons to make this pretty easy Ganon fight as well.
Going with that same fall for the iframe strat. Opening up the gauntlet in the exact same way as well. Stalfos getting away to opposite sides of the room.
It's always the one Zazak that runs away.
Yep. They tend to do a pretty good job of keeping either spikes or a Beamos between you and them. Third room goes very well.
Hey, not a bad gauntlet number 5, so makes it out. Silver Arrow strats here. He doesn't powder, so they should jump out in a nice way.
Got hit by the fireball there. But yes, does get that 1 cycle. Did not powder, so is down to 4 hearts. We'll see if Makin tries to hold on until possible fairy later on. Also has a red potion.
Yeah, he's in good shape here. He's got a lot of hearts, and he does have powder for the anti-fairy coming up after this area.
And I'll also go ahead and get Makin's audio switched over. And joining us in chat does not have a mic, so we're not going to hear from them in an interview. But if you got something you want to ask Prior, you can do so in chat. I think Prior mostly just wants to vent about what just happened.
Yeah, Prior, he's right there, so you can ask him right now all the questions.
Makin's going to be a little shy of the sub 2. And yeah, I think in this situation, so now that Prier is 3-0, it's he is guaranteed to make it into the bracket stages. It's possible that Jet wins their next race against Makin and also goes 3-1. Though in that situation, Prier has already beat Jet once, so the tiebreak there, I think, goes to Prier. So Prier is going to be coming out of group stages, this group stage, in first place, the champion of Group B. It's just been decided. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats. Let's see what Aga 2, how Makin does here.
Yep, those two guys right in the back there. So their shots are very close together. And then right on top of each other there. And that was that double that Prier managed to pick up. Makin spin just a little too early to get it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I guess chat's filling him in. This was a wild seed where the final difference kind of came down to Prier stepping into Ice Palace before Makin. Makin did overworld checking of the Hammer Pegs and Thieves Town Big Chest before he went into, and then I think Spike Cave.
Spike Cave as well.
Before he did the Ice Palace, yeah.
Hammer Pegs in Thieves Town, I think, was a good play.
Mm-hmm.
Spike, I think I like Ice a little more than Spike Cave in that situation, but all of them are very close plays. It was really, it was a huge luck factor who decided to go where. Prier just made the right call.
Yeah.
Sometimes, unfortunately, that's just the way the rando cookie crumbles.
And leading up to it, they were all very close. The race came very close because of that flute location where Swamp was.
Right, yeah, it looked like Makin was ahead, and then it looked like Prier was ahead for a big chunk of that race. And then Makin was the first one to get that flute, and things changed. And then right when the players went to Meyer, they were extremely close to each other.
Yep.
Not quite getting torch glitch, but able to wait and freeze Ganon in the middle of the room. This can be at least a double. Oh, it didn't actually get the freeze. That sucks.
Alright. Getting to the end here. Still got one more arrow shot. And I think he's gonna get it. Yeah.
That's it. Finishing roughly 7 minutes behind Prier. Not quite getting the illustrious sub 2. The final time is 2:03:26.
Yeah, this was one of those wild seeds, though, absolutely. Of course, the seed even had to say its final message to the runners.
I'm sorry. Very, very appropriate. This 7-minute gap between the players could have been a totally different story, just depending on the order they checked those locations coming out of Meyer.
Yeah, that was definitely crazy. Looks like Cyclone said it. It apologized. All is forgiven. It's Thanksgiving, I guess.
On today of all days, we can be forgiving. I mean, it's more about giving thanks than it is about giving for. But forgiving is... it's in the same spirit. Looks like Makin is going to join us for an interview.
All right.
so you can stick around and hear what Mackin has to say. Not out of the tournament. Needs Jet to lose. Needs to beat Jet, basically, actually. That will force a tie in Group B. Jet is Mackin's last match to play in the tournament. So we'll go ahead and pull Mackin in. Are you there?
Hey there, yes, sure I am.
Ah,
Wow. So how used to you to being hammerless that late into a seed are you? Because it looked like it really tripped you up.
It tripped me up a couple times, yeah. Was making my way to Spike Cave at some point. I thought, oh wait, no hammer, and I
Mhm.
wanted to use the Dark World Warp at the swamp. Couldn't use that, of course. So, yeah, tripped me up a couple times. But wow, what a seed!
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah. So I
You,
put off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say I put off going to Death Mountain for a long time because it was basically figured the lamp or the flute must be coming up soon, but it was at the trolliest location possible.
That's right.
It's swamp. It's amazing. I did everything before that.
Yeah, when you guys both did the sequence break to get the fire rod, Hiei said, "Oh, well, that means the lamp has got to be here soon." Because the lamp is required to get it, and then that eventually you guys were Prier was the first one up Death Mountain, as you can probably guess.
Yeah.
And Prier found the lamp up there, and we were like, wait, that's the lamp. So the flute has got to be somewhere, right? And it turned out by process of elimination, the flute had to be in that swamp chest. You were the first one there.
I can imagine, yeah. I would have sequence. Had I known in advance, I would have sequence broken up Death Mountain, obviously. But I put it off, figuring it's got to come up now. It's got to come up now. But it was the very last location I could have checked.
So you were ahead for that point. Up until that point, it looked like Prier was ahead because there was such good stuff up on Death Mountain, right? So
yeah,
Prier had that stuff. Flute swung it back in your favor. We weren't sure really until both of you guys headed into Mire.
Yeah, the hammer was past Mire. Basically, the shovel had the hammer, so
Right.
that felt good. I knew if he had sequence broken up the mountain, he wouldn't have gotten the hammer from there. So he had to find the flute at some point and go into swamp without the hammer as well. So I figured that put me back in the race. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You were indeed correct.
Yep, you were ahead in Mire. And then coming out of Mire, lots of options, right?
Yeah.
Items still left in ice.
I didn't want to go in ice again. Yeah, Green Pendant was there.
Cave, Thieves Town Big Chest, Hammer Pegs. Yeah, there was a lot of options, and that was where it happened. Prier went to ice before any of those things, and you
that
didn't.
Was a good move.
That was just it, really.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, that was a good move. I should have done that. But, you never know. I was hoping for that one item in Hammer Pegs. That was the boost.
And then Thieves Town is right next to Hammer Pegs. It seemed like
exactly.
A good play.
Exactly. So that's why I did those things, and I already went into ice early. Without the hammer, hoping I would find it there. So I kind of put it off because of that. Didn't want to go in ice again. I was hoping I could avoid that. And apparently I miscounted items as well, so I went to beat Cold Stare. It's another time loss.
Right, yes. We were like, oh, did we miscount or did he miscount? We'll see.
Yeah. I apparently I cannot count to 3. Yeah. So that was unfortunate, but I don't think it would have mattered in the end. That's not that much of a time waste.
No,
he would have still won. So I don't feel too bad about that.
Yeah, you made a definite. It was a 50-50 between the Overworld and Big Chest and Thieves Town or Ice. That was pretty much the difference. And Prier went to do the other play, and it was the right one this time around.
Yeah, it was a coin toss, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So. That happens. Kind of happened to me yesterday as well, so it's too bad.
It is unfortunate when
Yeah.
a race that exciting and interesting is that close to have it suddenly be swung so largely by luck.
Yeah. Well, that's rando.
That
It was.
is rando.
So
Swamp Palace, you got really lucky though. Did you remember you didn't hit the switch down and you lucked out?
yeah, I
was
thought,
the
oh
culprit?
my god, I hope I don't have to go back. I'm glad the last item was in the big chest.
Exactly. We're like, uh-oh.
I felt really stupid. Yeah.
Did
I was
you
a bit
feel like
flustered at that point. You know, I
right?
was just-
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask because there was that. There was when you fluted to Meyer. You didn't check the shed or checkerboard. You just went straight into Meyer. And I was like, what if the boots are silvers or something? And then it turned out silvers were in the checkerboard cave.
That would have really helped at Pitrius. Also,
Right.
I think I forgot to check the ledge in Desert. I never checked
Yes.
it.
Yes.
So, really, I forgot a lot. I was absent-minded at some point, you know?
Yeah.
I was getting a little flustered because everything was so late. But I'm glad nothing was there. I did remember it at some point, Desert Ledge, but that was like after ice.
Oh, yeah.
I think, hey, wait, I never went there.
Too late by that point. So you're
Yeah.
not out of this tournament yet.
No,
You-
it can
you gotta-
still happen, but
Yeah.
it would have to be a tiebreaker, I think. If I win
Yeah.
the next match against Jet, it's going to be a 3-way tiebreaker for second place, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yep. That's pretty much it. Well, Elmagus also needs to
yeah.
win.
Elmagus
Oh no,
has to win, too.
either L or no. Yes, that's it.
Elmagus has to win, I think. Yeah, against Jet. So, yeah, still a chance. I'm going to try my best. My next match is Saturday, so. Last
Well,
chance.
good luck.
Well, thank you. I'm going to need it.
So on this
Didn't
day,
have it this time.
No, didn't have it this. There was a bit of luck, but then
Yeah,
the other luck didn't quite.
exactly, yeah.
Today of all days, it is most appropriate to thank you for the interviewing and for racing today, for being one half of a very entertaining race.
Well, thank you too. Thanks for watching and thanks for commentating on Thanksgiving Day.
All
That's
right.
great.
So that was our race today. Prior going 3-0, going to be coming out on top of the group stage. Makin not out yet, still needs to fight for that second spot in Group B. Boy, I'm really glad I jumped in to cast this race. How about you, EA?
It was an exciting race. I thank the runners for making it a fantastic race for us all to watch. Of course, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, of course. So we all want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Thanks for joining us.
And stick around. Come back in 45 minutes, where Zelda 1 Randomizer will be happening for a couple hours, all the way until basically midnight. So if you're all full of turkey and you somehow don't fall asleep from all the tryptophan, you can come back and get some Zelda 1 Randomizer action happening in about 45 minutes. We hope to see you then, and wish you and your family and everyone all the best Thanksgiving.